Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the Steam Train. It's Wednesday, it's the morning Steam Train, so I hope you guys are all doing well. And welcome back, I'm Mr. Dorian with New Minds. We have something super awesome today, and I think it's going to be a lot of helpful for parents and students working at home, and I know you guys have a lot of homework to do. I know something I had trouble with sometimes was fractions. So I'm going to show you a super awesome way that you can have fractions in a really easy and fun way to do them. Let me show you. In our magic box today, we have some sticky notes, something to write with, and actually some Legos. We actually have really specific Legos because we are talking about fractions. So we want Legos that we can break up and divide into fractions. This is a normal Lego piece, one whole Lego. Anytime you think of a Lego, you probably think of one of these. So this is going to be our 1. Now if we want to break our 1 into 2 pieces, we're going to break it into a half. So we know that this has 8 little dots on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we want to split it in half right down the middle. Shunk. We're going to end up with something like this. All I did was take 2 square Lego pieces, and each one is a half. So if I split them, I now have 2 halves. The next piece we have is we want to split these halves in halves. We want to make a fourth. So we have a piece that can do that with 2 dots on it. If we have 4 fourths, we can make a whole again. Just like this. Now we have a whole, and a whole, but they're actually made of different pieces. This is 2 halves, which we know makes 1 whole piece. This is 4 fourths, which we know makes 1 whole piece. We even go even further. We can split these in half. If we split these in half, we will have 8 pieces, and they're called eighths. Let me go ahead and get these out. They're kind of small, so it's going to be hard for me to hold them up the same way that I held up the other pieces. But I'm at least going to stand them up in a way where you can see it. Here we go. There's 6 of them, and there's 8 of them. Uh-oh, I knocked it over. So you'll notice that all of these are different sections and cut aparts of a piece, but they all end up as the same size. This whole is the same as 2 halves, is the same as 4 fourths, is the same as 8 eighths. Fractions are just made out of 2 numbers, a numerator, the number on top, and a denominator, the number on the bottom. So if we have 1, 1, we know that's going to be 1 over 1. I'm just going to write this down so we can see it. That is 1 over 1. We know our 1s are made out of 8 dots, so I'm just going to draw that so I know what a 1 over 1 looks like. So a whole looks like this. I'm just going to draw 8 dots. Just like this. That's 1 whole. Now if we make 1 a whole with 2 pieces, each piece is a half. That's 1 over 2. So I'm going to draw a half, which is just going to be 4 dots. And that's going to be 1 over 2. Just like that. The next thing we need is our fourths, which only have 2 dots on them. So I'm going to have 1 over 4. And I'm going to draw something with 2 dots. Just like that. And the last one is an eighth. And that is just 1 dot. 1 over just like this. So if you're working with fractions and you have things like a half, a fourth, or an eighth, sometimes you'll have to add them, sometimes you'll have to subtract them, sometimes you'll have to maybe even multiply them. But the cool thing is that you can use this, and you can use this as a tool to help you look at fractions a little bit differently, and it might help you see them a little bit easier. Let's just do a really easy fraction problem. Sally, Tommy, and Billy all are bringing some food to their Thanksgiving meal. One of them has half of a pie they brought. One of them has a quarter of a pie they brought. And one of them has another quarter of a pie they brought. If we look at it, we know that our quarters are these ones, so that's how I knew which one to grab. My halves were the squares. If I put them all together, let's say I want to add them and see how much pie they have together. I can put them all together, and I see that we actually end up with 8 dots, which we know is one whole. So using our fraction pieces, I'm able to see it a little bit easier on how our fractions relate to each other. I know a half and 2/4 will actually make a whole, because the 2/4 make a half, and a half plus a half is one whole. And it's equal, I can see that they're equal size. You can actually do this for division of fractions too. Let's say, I'm going to get some more pieces out just for this example. The cool thing is, a lot of people have Legos, and these are all very simple pieces, so this can be a tool for anybody. Or, if you don't have this, you could make it out of paper. Just draw the 8 dots, cut them into pieces, and now you have the same fraction tools. Well, let's say 4 people are at this Thanksgiving dinner now, and there's 3 pies. 1, 2, and 3. We want to know how much pie each person is going to get. All 4 of them want the same amount of pie. So we have our 3 pies. I'm going to split them into fourths because there's 4 people, and that's going to be an easy way to do the problem. I know there's 4 people, so I'm going to make each one of these wholes out of 4 pieces. That's one of them. So I'm going to take that out now. Here's another one. I'm going to take that out now. And here's another one. And there we go. So now we have the same 3 pies, but they're already split into pieces. Now we can just divide them the easy way or the hard way. We're going to do it the longer way first, just so you can see how. But you can easily just go and divide it one at a time and see how the math works out. So there's 4 people, so I'm just going to split between 4. So you get a piece, 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 and you get a piece, you get a piece, you get a piece, you get a piece. So we know the bottom number is going to be over 4, because these are all fourths. How many fourths do they have? 1, 2, 3. So they each get 3/4 of a pie. So if you looked at it all together, their pies would look a little bit like this. I can take a circle, that's my pie. I could split it into 4 pieces, just like this. And then I can color in 3 of the fourths. And I see they would each get this much pie. So if I cut a 1/4 out of each one and gave them all to the last person, we would see that everybody would end up with the same amount of pie. And this is just one way you can use fraction tools. Maybe you have some different fractions, like a 1/3 or a 1/6. Those numbers don't go well into something with 8 dots. So there's a different tool you can use. So I made these out of blue, so I can tell the difference. And these are going to be my fractions that use a 1/6. So this is one whole if you're dividing by 3 or 6. So it's going to look just like this. It's a 2 by 3 piece. And I'm going to write down my same charts. So I'm going to draw a whole. 1, 1 is 6 dots. Just like this. Now this same piece can still go into a half. So if I take this and I split it in half, it's going to look just like these two. Take them apart, put them together. Now it's the same as this piece. So now we have 2 halves. Each one has 3 dots. We can take this and now we can split it into thirds and have 3 pieces. So I can take it just like this, and we use the same 2's as earlier, but we only have 3 of them. So each one is a third, so I'm going to go ahead and label that. It's 2 dots. 1 over 3, and I'm draw it's 2 dots. And of course, this one can be split into 6 pieces because it has 6 dots. And that's going to be using my smallest pieces. Now this is just a tool to help you with math. You can make bigger pieces and you'll be able to split them into smaller pieces in the end. Maybe a whole looks something like this, where you have 16 dots. You could split it into much smaller pieces. It's up to you, and you can adjust this tool based on the kind of problem you're doing. But this is just an idea to get you started in something to help you with your homework. You're working at home, and it's a little bit of fun math to do. It's more fun to play with Legos than it is to just write the numbers on paper. Just like this, we have a 6th. Now I'm going to do one last problem with this, and we're going to go ahead and wrap up today. This is just a quick help for your math homework, or maybe you just like doing fractions. So let's do another problem. One friend has brought half of a pie. All the pies are cut into 6 pieces. Maybe it's pizza this time. Maybe one person brought half of a pizza. Another person brought 2 slices of pizza. And another person brought 1 slice of pizza. We can put these all together and we can see how much pizza is left. We have a third of a pizza, not a third, a half of a pizza. I got confused, I need to make sure to look at my chart, 1/2. I'm going to add 2 slices, which is a third of a pizza. I could actually use one of these. And then, 1/6 of a pizza, which is one of these. Put them all together, and I see that we have 1 whole pizza. We can also use this for fraction subtraction. Let's say every pizza is in 6 pieces. Or we just want to know how much pizza everybody's eaten. We ask the first person, she's like, I've eaten about a third of the pizza. So they're going to have one of these, that's a third. Next person will be like, I only ate 1 slice. And slices are in 6 pieces, so we know it's a 6th. And then another person says, I ate about a third of the pizza. They have one of these. I can put all these together and see how much pizza is left. I see that there's 1 spot missing. Uh-oh. Let's grab another one. I see that there's 1 spot missing, so I know there's 1 slice of pizza left for me. Because I know this would fit in there and make it a whole. And this is just a way you can use a tool to make fractions and make it a little bit more fun and a little bit easier. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for tuning in on the STEAM train, and for tuning in with real inspired learning with New Minds. If you've missed any of our lessons before, feel free to check them out on newminds.tv. Keep practicing your passions until they become talents. Maybe it's fractions that you really love. I know I used to really love math. Thank you guys, and have a wonderful rest of your day.